everybody, welcome back to TAZ's Wig Closet at Wig Studio One. Just thought I would stand and chat with you once again today, just to reach out and say hello. So important these days when a lot of us are in self-isolation. There are several states now that actually have shelter-in-place laws going on. That means that you are sort of relegated to your home, and only in cases of necessity would you come out. And I think that's a wonderful idea, guys. I respect what's going on in nature right now. We are human beings, we are live animals, and that can, we can be very vulnerable to some newer viruses that are coming around. So I respect Mother Nature on this, but I also respect the rules and the laws that are being put into place to help keep us protected as well as everyone. And I think it's so important to abide by that. I know that some of these young people are kind of flocking to the bars that are still open, and maybe flocking to the beaches and enjoying their spring break and things. And you know, there's a lot of people that are very judgmental of that and that are coming down pretty hard on these folks. All I have to say is that I've raised 2 children myself. They're in that very tender age of, I'm an adult and I think I know everything, but I'm not even old enough to have a fully developed brain yet. It's a very, very contentious time in life where sometimes you don't really see the whole picture, but you have great confidence in yourself, a lot of invincibility that you're feeling. And so these guys, I think they just know not what they do in these cases. We can talk to them, we can try to reason with them. And I learned once in psychology that the human brain doesn't even reach maturation until you're 25 years old. And some of those, the last things to develop within the brain are those skills of reasoning, those reasoning skills. So, you know, let's do what we can to teach them and encourage them to do the right things. But at the same time, we're probably going to have to expect that they're not probably going to follow the rules exactly, because they just don't have the reasoning skills to say, hey, you know, I might be putting some real vulnerable people at risk here. Instead, they're thinking, gee, I'm young and healthy and I can go out there and probably safely do these things. But what they don't realize is that they may come home, bring it to their parents, bring it to their grandparents, or those vulnerable classes of people. So let's try to refrain from judging people during this time. I would really hope that the best in humanity would come out in a time of need like this, but unfortunately, some of the worst also comes out. So I'd really love to know how you're coping in your situation. How are you feeling mentally? Are you well physically? Are you getting all of your needs met? I would be curious to know that, because you know, when you're in isolation, you may not be aware of the needs of those around you. And through social media and these types of connections, we can kind of learn from one another and help one another. And so there's so many different ways. So YouTube, you know, your normal Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Apparently there's some other social apps out there as well that will help you stay connected with family, like video chat kind of a thing. So utilize all of that just to stay connected with your loved ones and your friends. I think it'll make you feel a whole lot better and make this time in isolation go maybe a little quicker. So today I have a brand new wig to show you by JON RENAU. It's actually not a new wig style, but a new wig color. They just came out with their 5 new shades. As you can see, it still has its tags. I haven't done anything to it. I did test it for fit. Oh my, what do you think? I love the style, I really do. Let's take a look at this color. Oh my goodness, Storm. So can't you just have a sense that this might be a color that would appeal to lots of different age groups? Silver is very in right now and very trendy for younger folks. And it will never go out of style if you love gray shades. This is just beautiful. So it's a combination of silver and gray. It's a very rich, like I said, a very rich, dynamic gray. And then that root is very visible. So it's not just a wee little root. That root seems to come out quite a bit there, and it's visible from all angles. I'm going to give you an outside look as well. I always love to see both lighting schemes. I've got some morning light coming through the window here. I've got my ring light flanked by 2 soft boxes, and that's kind of like my preferred lighting setup here. It's just gorgeous. And those knots aren't terribly thick either. The fine fibers really make those knots very appealing. And it's not too densely threaded on top. You can definitely see through to the mono top there. Now overall, it's about 8.5 inches here on the sides and front. We're just going to stretch a couple inches below my chin, but it's curly. So it kind of stays out of the face for the most part on me. And overall, right around 11 inches, I would say. I love to give, many of you really enjoy the wig reviews because I give you a lot of detail about the wigs. I try very hard to go beyond just the normal stuff to give you an in-depth look. Now what that does though, it opens me up to possibly making an error or a mistake in my wig review. Now if that's true, if I learn about something that I said that was not accurate, if it's not a dire mistake, if it's not going to cause you all to go out and buy things that you don't want, I will definitely take the video down. That has never happened. Most of the time it would just be like semantical, just the words just didn't come out right and I didn't catch it in editing. And if that is the case, I will certainly make a correction in the description box below. But, you know, some people like to point out all your mistakes and never what you're doing well. And so I feel like, you know, even if you're human and you make mistakes, we're putting ourselves out here to give you the information. And I've got to give you all credit. You've got eyes, you've got ears, you can learn about these wigs separate from my review. So, you know, I would just trust but verify on a lot of these things. Many of you will look to lots of different sources to determine if you want to buy a wig or not. You'll watch several wig reviews. You'll look at the manufacturer's description. You may even go a little more in depth about it. But I do try my best to give you a lot of detail. But unfortunately, that does open me up sometimes to some scrutiny about the accuracy of the information. I have never made such a dire mistake that it would cost or do any damage to any person. So I'll just continue to do what I'm doing. I'm not a professional. I have no formal training in the wig industry other than my own experience. And as a user and wearer of wigs, I think that's very, very important. But do be responsible for your own research and your own investment into these wig styles. The more my channel grows, the more I'm going to attract, you know, some of those people that really want to, they really want to knock you down. They really want to get rid of you quick. And I mean, I don't know what the motivation is behind some of that. I'm certainly not that way, and so I can't even get into the minds of those types of personalities. But I'm not going anywhere. I will be here, and I'll continue to do my very best for all of you. I do have some features on my channel that I can block people from leaving rude and disparaging comments on my channel. You know, the other thing is that I debated with this for a very long time, year after year. Do I allow the ratings to show on my videos, or do I just want to turn them off? Now, when I upload a video, it's just always the default that you will not see ratings on my videos. I actually have to remember to go back in eventually and turn them on. And that's just to stop, you know, some of the bullying or the harassment that might come in waves. Because personally, with wig reviews, I do not believe that the rating system is accurate. It does not give an indication to someone whether it is worth watching or not. Any information on a wig that you see, the video, the information is better than no information. A lot of people, I'm really shocked by this, but a lot of people will vote up or down based on whether they like the wig or not. Like we're putting that wig out there to be judged. No, that is not the case, especially on my channel. And you know, many of my friends that are wig reviewers the same way, just getting that information out there so that you can make an informed decision. And like I said, any wig review is better than none. And any information that we can have is better than no information. I know, because back when I first started with wigs, I mean, there was very few reviewers out there, very limited information. It was a very daunting process. Now we're just sort of exploding with some reviewers and all the information, and it's a lot of fun. It's great communion, and it's wonderful. If you're out there and you rate videos based on whether you like the wig or not, that's probably not the intended use of the ratings, and that's why I just don't even pay attention to them. I shut them off. And unless I remember to go back and turn them on, you won't see them on my videos. You know, a lot of people will say, well, gee, Taz, I don't like your makeup today. Thumbs down. You know, I don't like your outfit. Thumbs down. I don't like the fact that you're endorsing such and such company. Thumbs down. I don't like you, Taz. Thumbs down. You know, it doesn't have... It's not an accurate portrayal of whether you should recommend that video or not. So I'm basically going to leave them off. And comments. So this comment thing is a fine line. I once put out a video that I said, I want you to think of my channel as my house. You are all invited to my house. But please don't come into my house and start insulting me or my guests. It's just not going to happen. I'm not going to allow that kind of negativity to take hold. This is not a democracy. This is my channel, and I get to run it how I want. And I want all the information out there. I want to share good spirit and communion. There are forums out there that you can find that you can you know, kind of sound off and get on a soapbox and just really vent your heart away. Not on my channel. I really don't. I don't want any negativity on the channel. Now, respectful kinds of things, absolutely. And this isn't a matter of me not respecting your opinion, because I do. It just doesn't have a place on my channel. That is not how I want my channel to run. If we were in a personal setting and I was with you on one-on-one, then sure, look, just vent away. That's fine. But I want to create a positive atmosphere here. And so if we can objectively give the facts about something, even if it's not your taste or your preference, even if you don't like it and that's your opinion, keep it objective, keep it respectful. I had a gal, and I have nothing against this person. In fact, I've never had any engagement with her other than this comment that she left. I reviewed a style, and she came on and left a paragraph about how this particular brand kept increasing their prices, how they were ripping us off. And boy, that just really gets me. That's one thing that gets me fired up. Like, look, if you don't like it, don't buy it. Go to some other brand. You know, that's like me. I made the example of, you know, I've got this small little modest home that I can afford and I love. My friends have big homes, you know, fancy features, newer homes and things. And I'm not mad at the builder because I can't afford that home. You see what I'm saying? You get what you can afford. And if your budget, if one of your favorite brands, it gets priced out of your budget, don't blame the manufacturer. You know, just don't blame anyone. This is something that you're going to have to live with. And that sense of entitlement that you deserve something, that's another big pet peeve of mine. You know, it is what it is. We can't control it. But, you know, let's not spread a bunch of negativity about it. Simply don't buy the product. And I guess if she would have said, I am so sorry that they've just gotten out of my price range, it really hurts because I love the brand. I love the style. I think I would have definitely been able to stomach that a little easier because that's a little more respectful. So I think people can just watch their delivery a little bit more. And like I said, it's not a matter of me respecting your opinion because I don't judge. I think all opinions are worthy. but they just don't have a place on my channel. So I do want to talk about something else. So often you look in the background and you see these beautiful ladies back here with all of this beautiful hair. And it's just fascinating to look at sometimes. I'm here to tell you it's probably not a realistic, it's beautiful to look at. It's like art, isn't it? This beautiful hair on these painted faces and so forth. But it's not realistic. I'll show you why. So I bought these beautiful mannequin heads at roxydisplay.com, and I feel like their quality is very good. The makeup is tasteful on the heads. Some they can get looking really goofy, and that wasn't what I wanted. So I spent a little more just to get the quality that I was looking for. So anyway, here we go. Here we've got the new Raquel Welch Unfiltered in the color Shaded Biscuit on my dear mannequin head here. Okay, I didn't name them because a lot of them look a lot alike. So it's like having a bunch of twins or quadruplets running around. But let me just share with you something. So the circumference of the head on this one, and many of them that I have, it's about 19 inches. That is way more petite than the normal human head would for a woman. The other thing that's petite, everything is more petite about the faces of a mannequin head. So from hairline to chin, it's about 6 inches. I mean, with mine, I'm 6.5 to 7 inches from my hairline to my chin. But many of you are 7, 8, even 9 inches. So you can see when you look back on these mannequin heads and you see these styles, it may be a little misleading just because they're so petite and well below average. So you have to take all that into consideration. I mean, look at her little nose. It's just so petite and just perfect proportions. So I wouldn't want to mislead anyone by how pretty these things look on these heads back there. You know, and that's the same when I wear a wig. I never guarantee that it's going to look like, you know, and you should never expect that it's going to look on you like it does on me or on any other reviewer, just because we're all different. That's what makes us beautiful. And that's why it's hard to pick out a style. If you lined 10 ladies up and they all wore the same style, if you've got a really good trained eye, you could probably discern the style that they're wearing, if it's a name brand style. But for the most part, it looks different on everyone. It's going to hit you differently around the face. It's going to frame the face differently. It's going to be longer. So I've got that 6.5 to 7 inch hairline to chin, and then I've got that 3 inches from the chin to the collarbone. So everybody's proportions are a little bit different, and that's what makes it special and unique. You know, who wants a bunch of TAZs running around, or, you know, whoever. I mean, this variety that we all share is just, it's so neat. But again, when you're looking back there, is sometimes because these heads have such petite measurements, it's very hard, number one, to figure out the style they're wearing, and number two, we just want to set the expectation that when you look back there and see one on there, it's probably going to look a lot different on you and on me. So in ending, I want to show you what I do to pass the time and make me feel a little bit less lonely. Come here, girl. So while you're in isolation, really love on your pets. A lot of times when people get lonely, I can see where pets are just so therapeutic. This is my good girl, Neko. She's my good girl. Oh, she is. And I love her so much, and we have such a good day together. So hug on your animal, love on your animal, your pet. Take them for a walk, play with them. I know Neko every day. We have playtime. And she has her little squeak toy on a string, and we really, really enjoy interacting like that. Plus, it keeps her healthy and fit. So hopefully your animals, your pets are secure. There's no evidence that this virus can transmit from animal to animals. So pets, So hug away and love away, and you don't have to worry about personal space. Everybody have a great day. We'll see you next time on Taz's Wig Closet at Wig Studio 1.